Hey, mic check. Can everyone hear me? Everyone hear me? Microphone check. Can everyone hear me? Good, good. So we're still having a little bit of an issue with the chat. So if you want to text me, go ahead, text me. Everyone hear me? Microphone check. Can everyone hear me? Good, good. So we're still having a little bit of an issue with the chat. So if you want to text me, go ahead, text me. Everyone hear me? Microphone check. Can everyone hear me? In a minute. Good, good. So we're still having a little bit of an issue with the chat. Okay. So the first thing is I'm going to introduce myself. Hi, I'm James Quake. I'm the founder of Quake Technology, and I'm really proud and excited to present this class. This is actually going to be a master class in AI development, and pretty soon I'm going to actually share my screen with you. And when I share my screen with you, you're going to actually get the full benefit of seeing all of my keystrokes and everything that's going on. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get started in another 2 more minutes. I'm waiting for one more person to hop on. And hope everybody's enjoying their Thursday. Let's get it. Let's make it happen. I'm going to be starting up in 1 more minute.
I lost control. I lost control. I lost control.
I say welcome again. And right now we're going to go ahead and get started with our overview of what we're going to learn today. After our overview, we're going to go ahead and get into it. So if you were wondering if we need to log in, it's not going to be any logins until next week. We're still building the LMS and it's coming along. It's just good quality code takes time. So if we look at my screen, I'm going to show you the screen. Okay, so if you look at my screen, you'll get to see that we have our handout for today. And we're going to be doing an introduction to Python, prompting, and Figma. And this is for Quake Technology. Now, what we want to do is go to figma.com, sign up for free. Also, we're going to go to online-python.com, and that's actually going to show us how to code. So take a minute and sign up for figma.com first, and then you're going to go to the website onlinepython.com, open up another tab. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get the rest of the team going. And if you're trying to use the chat, we found out the chat was going to the local storage, and we wanted to go to our Firebase. Firebase is a tool that gives us superpowers, and that's what we use for our back end stuff. You'll learn about that in a future class. But for now, let's go ahead and get busy with Python. So people talk about programming languages and they make it sound like it's super hard, but it's different languages. If you're just starting out, we recommend something like Python. And what Python does is it allows you to code in a language that's very close to our spoken word English language. So it's a powerful tool. If you learn Python, you can do a lot of cybersecurity coding. You can code games. There's a game engine called PyCharm. Okay. You have one that's called PyCharm. You have Pygame. You have RenPy, which is kind of like we use Python to make visual storytelling. So Python is a really nice foundation tool. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and make our first game, our Hello World app. So we're going to go to the Python editor. I'm I'm going to click on that. Okay. And now if you go to it, it's going to give you an existing code, right? But we don't want to use that one. We want to make our own code. We want to make our own file, and we need to name it in a Python appendix at the end of our file. So let's go and click on the plus icon, and we're going to change it from untitled to test.py, test.py. So now that we have our test file, we're going to run our first program just like it's speaking to someone in the human language. We're going to tell our computer hello. And most programming languages learn hello world. So I'm going to share this document with the people that are in this class, but I'm going to go through it step by step so that we get, all the benefits of training, not just teaching. Okay, so now we're going to do our hello world. So we're going to type print because we just want it to show hello world, print. And then we're going to use our curlies. And we're going to type in, we're going to put in a quotation, hello, space, world. Okay. And that's it. So now when we click run, as you see, it executes, it compiles and executes that command, and it just prints out hello world. So this is your first program. And the more you do it, the more elaborate you can get. But start here, do a little bit every day, and you're going to get better and better. This is not rocket science. And what happens is, some of the coding and game development is harder than rocket science. It's just that rocket science, if you make a mistake, somebody gets killed. So you want to keep perspective. Now, when you're starting off, you want to do simple codes and understand the words and the definitions. All of that is going to help you prompt engineer. So let's move on to the next type of coding. We have what's called variables. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit plus. Now this time I'm going to type in main.py. And why am I doing that? Sometimes you have projects reference another project. Okay, it's telling me it already exists. Okay. So since it already exists, let me call this variable.py. Okay. So now this time I'm going to type in name space equals, and then I'm going to use the variables, which will be my name, and that's James. So I'm going to use the quotation marks, JAMES. MES. Now, someone just asked, can we save what we've been working on? So here, let's take a look. So let me finish this code. So with our variable, we're now going to tell it to print name. So we're going to type in print, and then we're going to use our curly's name. And that's it. Now, let's do this. Let's try to save this. So we're going to tell it save file to disk. And I want to call this variable.py. Okay. Now, as you can see, it's on my desktop, and bam. In the next class, we're going to go over Python editor, where you'll be able to run everything locally. But for today, we're just going to do a few simple coding examples so we have a foundation. And then we're going to move on to getting grips with Figma. Figma is a really awesome tool because sometimes when you're building a code with AI, it's going to want words for prompt engineering. Other times, it's going to want to see a visual example. And if you can show it a visual example, that'll be good. But this is also good when you're working with other developers in other countries where English may not be their first language or you have some type of language difference. So let's run this program. So as you can see, it's saying Jane. Okay. So the programming can get more and more elaborate. We can do our next variable where we're going to have two data sets. We're going to have an age data set and a color data set. So next program, we're going to say favorite underscore color space equals quotations blue. Okay. Next, we have the age. Age space equals 25. Okay. Next, we're going to tell it to print favorite color, print, then the curly brackets. I selected too much. So on the blue, there we go. Favorite color. Now you see our editor is giving us suggestions. If the suggestion is what you want to type, you can just hit the tab key on your keyboard and it'll finish typing it out for you. And that's what I did. Next, we're going to print the age. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and run this. So this one is giving us two outputs. It's giving us our blue, and it's also giving us the 25. Now, that's not my age, but I'm just giving examples. Okay. We're going to do one more variable, and then after that, we're going to do a user input. Now, with this variable, it's going to combine text for us. Now, this is actually the beginning of great things. You're going to be combining multiple things while you're coding. So first, let's type in first name, first underscore name, space equals, quotations, James. You notice when you just hit the one quotation, it'll do both for you. Make sure you click inside of there to type your content. You know, usually it's going to be a word, and you're going to put that inside of those quotation marks. Next, last name, last underscore name, space equals, space quotations. I'm going to do Quake. I'm going to use my artist name. Okay. Then I'm going to make a space. Now we're going to tell it how to combine them. Now I'm going to say print, all lowercase. Then I'm going to do the curlies. First underscore name. See how it's giving us that example? It's giving us the right example we want. So I'm going to hit tab. Then we're going to go space plus space. And then I'm going to do the examples again. I mean, the quotations, right? Okay. I see we're able to chat on YouTube. That is awesome. Let's go. Thanks, Ashley. So next up, before we finish this, we're going to add our last name. So I'm going to hit a space again, plus last, and see how it's giving me the right example. And now I'm going to hit the tab key. There we go. Okay. So we have our first data set, which is the James. The second one is the last name, Quake. Then we're telling it to print them together. First name plus, then a space, then the last name. Let's see how that works. Okay. Okay, good. So I'm going to skip the rest for now. If you want, you can save your work, but we're going to move on to good prompt ideas, and then we're going to move on to Figma. The main thing is you want to learn to think like a coder. And when you think like a coder and you use the correct terminology, your AI that you're using to help you code is going to accomplish what you're trying to code. So we're good with online Python. Let me save this. So this one's going to be the combine, and I'm going to keep it the .py. Okay, save that. And next up, I'm just going to kind of read a little bit through our handout sheet, and we're going to actually move on to Figma. And Figma, you're going to get to have a little fun. Okay, so since we're going to be thinking like a coder, we're going to be thinking and finding the terminology to express what we want our AI to build. Think of the AI as your robot helper. And also think of the AI as a really smart 180 IQ 5-year-old. So if you don't tell it explicitly what you want, it's not going to accomplish it. So weak prompts, you'll say, make me a better app. A better prompt, you would say, hey, read this. Create a simple mobile app idea for beginners learning fitness. Include the home screen, profile screen, and the daily progress screen. So with all of that, you can actually accomplish what you need. Okay. Next up, you want to practice a prompt. So you want to pick a topic, game app, website logo, business idea, write who is it for, write how it should work, and then write what output you want. Combine everything into that one prompt. So there's a good example of what um, that prompt is trying to do. So here we can say create a beginner friendly mobile app idea for students who want to learn coding. Include the main screens, key features, and a simple user flow. Okay. So that's a good small explanation. And what's going to happen is we're going to actually learn how to use coding terminology. Like, for instance, there's a new favorite thing I love. They're called modals. Let me show you that really quick. We use them all the time, but people, they're like pop-ups, but people really, really um, take them for granted. These modals, like, um, have really helped our projects look a million times better. So, what's a modal? So, the modal, I'm on the Ionic coding website. This is one of the programming languages we're going to learn later on after we get to grips with Python. So you see how we say open? With that modal, it's a screen that pops up that takes up the whole area, or it could be a sliding screen. And these are called inline modals. Or it could be what you call a controller modal. These modals are like really powerful tools. I like the ones that have handles on them that you can pull up. They're really good. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. And when I get back, we're going to hop into Figma. Okay. 5 minutes.
I lost control. 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 I lost control.
Okay, everyone, we're back. And this time around, I added something to the sheet. We have a powerful tool we can go to get open source images that you could use in your projects. And they're kind of attribution based. So when you go to Pexels, PEXELS.com, all you have to do is like or subscribe to artists that you really like and use their images. Now you can take those images and use them on your website, your mobile app, or whatever project you're working on. If we click on their license, right? So said, okay, simply what's available. And it says legally simplicity, all photos and videos in Pexels can be downloaded and used for free. What is allowed? All photos and videos are free to use. Attribution is not required. Okay, that's good. But giving credit to the photographer of Pexels is not necessary, but always appreciated. I remember when they first launched, they had links where you could like and share the artist. It looks like they're kind of moving away from that, but I would still do it because these are really high quality images. And these images are heaven sent depending on the project you're working on. So let's look at this. You can modify the photos or videos for Pexels, be creative, edit them as you like. Now let's see what's not allowed. So number one, identifiable people may not appear in a bad light or in a way that is offensive. Don't sell unaltered copies of a photo or video and use them on a physical product without modifying it first, like poster, print. Don't imply endorsement of your product by people or brands on the imagery. Don't distribute or sell the photos and videos on the stock photo or wallpaper platforms. So they're saying don't take their stock photos and resell them as if it's your own. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Ashley. They have been around for a decade or more, and they're really good service. We're going to read the last one, and then we're going to download some vehicles. Don't use the photos and videos as part of your trademark, design mark, trade name, business name, or service mark. So if you're creating a trademark for your business and you're using Pexels devices, that's not allowed. Okay, thanks. So since that's not allowed, what we have to do is create our own logos. You want to use something like Photoshop or Illustrator or buy a vendor. Get a vendor to create it for you. So let's go ahead and search. I'm going to search for vintage cars, right? If I search for vintage cars, now we're going to get a lot of really good images that we could use for our Figma. Now, Figma is not an app development tool as of yet. There's a lot of new features that are now including AI and generating things, but what Figma is, it is a mock-up tool so we can create our mobile app or website idea before we actually code it or even AI prompt it. So for this one, I want to make something pretty cool with vehicles or cars. So you want to have an idea of what you're trying to build before you get into Figma. So let me get 5 car images and 2 profile picture images. So if I get the 5 car car images. I'm going to hit download. Okay. And next up, I'm going to go and make a new folder. And I'm going to call this one Figma lesson. Okay. I'm going to make sure I double click it so that what I save goes directly into that Figma. Okay, I see we have Aretha in the house. Greetings, Aretha. Okay, good, good. So now that we have the band back together, let's rock and roll. This looks like a good car to rock and roll with. So I'm going to download this. Now, here's the other thing. You want to be conscious about the size of the images. Sometimes, if you get a lot of large images, you can run out of space. And the Figma is running, if you're running it off the browser, it will slow down. Okay. So yeah, we can slow down. Go ahead, download your images. So you can either click it or click on the down arrow. And I normally pick like maybe the medium size images because we want to get images that are going to fit inside of our mockup. And this time we're doing a mockup for mobile. So those are going to be smaller devices than the size that we normally do for um, the web and desktop. So we're going to get 5 cars, and we're going to get, and if the image has multiple cars, you can do that also. 5 cars and 2 profile pictures. So I'm going to grab a couple profile pictures so you can see some good examples of what we have. Okay, so we have that. So let me type in profile picture. Now, when you say it like this, you'll see true profile pictures. These could be images that are on any social media website. I'm going to download her image. Okay. I'm going to grab another one. This time I'm going to grab a male. Okay, that look like that could work. And I need 2 more cars. Okay, I like that image. And that looks like a good image also. Okay. So next up, I'm going to go to Figma, but this time I'm just going to go to Figma and wait, and I'm going to have everybody chime in on the chat as soon as they're ready and logged in to Figma. So you have 2 ways to, I'm going to go ahead and log back out. You have 2 ways to log in. You can log in through your browser or you can download the app and log in. Both of them allow you to use your Google as a login source. So I'm going to click continue with Google. Okay. And mine is going to look a little different than yours, but what you want to do is go ahead and just make a new project. So I'm going to stop right here. And you should have, you don't have to have team view or anything, but you want to go to all projects, stop here, and you should have the new project button. Okay, I'm gonna stop here for 2 minutes and then we're gonna get back going. Okay, everybody's ready to rock and roll with Figma. Okay, I see what you're saying, Ashley. You can't create another project. Uh, how many projects do you have so far in Figma? Okay, can you work on the one project? You know what? We don't have to work on another project. We can just create a new File. Can you make a new file? Okay. So you have one project on there already. Okay. So let's do this. I'll have you just follow what I'm doing, and if you can't open up a project, we're gonna get together, do another Zoom in a couple days, and you'll get some one-on-one. So that's the other thing. If there's time you need one-on-one, we can do that as well. Sometimes there's like coaching that helps out as well. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and just open up a project. I actually created one earlier today called Practice App, and it's got some funny new features. Like it's got a feature where it'll create images with AI. I thought that it would make the mock-up, which is like clickable and everything, but right now it looks like we still have to make the mock-up, but it will make our clip art images if we need it. The other thing is we have a lot of tools and assets on here. Okay. So once you create that new design file, I want you to look at what I look at, and I want to make sure you see what I see. Okay. Number one, you'll see the name of your project. You should see file and assets. And if you're just starting off, it should just be like one page, right? So next up, you should also see assets. And here in the assets, these are libraries that come with Figma. So you all see that? So these assets are widgets and components that we can click on and drag to our project. So I had a handout for everyone, but with these assets, we can actually kind of speed ahead, make something that looks better in a shorter amount of time. And let's look at the assets. So one asset I was looking at, if we go to iOS 18, and then you look at the examples, we want to kind of scroll down to things that we could use that reflect a mobile app. Okay, let me go back. iOS and iPad OS. Okay, you have your pop-ups, your systems, toggles, windows, action sheets, examples. So on the very top where it says examples, you're gonna see things like views, Face ID, home screens, keyboard, sheets, modals, like I was talking about earlier. So actually, I'm gonna go back, and now that I'm looking at it, it's the top one. It's the iOS 18, and it's those examples. And on here, we have an iPhone with a navigation bar. So I'm going to stop. So he had a good question. The reaction with these iPhone only. If we do go back, I'm gonna drag this over first though. If you see an example you like, you want to start with, you click it, you drag it over, you select agree. Now we can start from something that actually looks like, the beginning of app already. So if we go back, we have these other, see where it says material design 3? Material design, that is a technology that Android uses, and these are standardized uh, avatars, app bars, badges, cards, carousels, all of the different aspects that you're going to see inside of an Android device. So if you click here, see device frame, stop. There's your Android device. So first thing I'm going to do, since I like the way that iOS look, yeah, if you don't see navigation, you can pick another one, or you can go to Material Design 3 and also pick Device Frame. And that's under Utilities, believe it or not. So if you look at Figma, it has some tools similar to Photoshop. You have your marking tools, you have your text, you have your pen tool. That's for making vector images. You also have your preset vector tools like rectangles, circles, lines, arrows, polygons, star, and there's even image and video now. So this one, frame, this one is actually when you want to draw a board, but we actually started with our examples as boards. But if you want to draw a board, I'm going to show you that and then stop and make sure we're all at the same page. You want to draw a board, you would draw it kind of nice and skinny like that because we're focusing on coding for mobile apps. Uh, Coding for web is cool, but if we focus on mobile apps, we can focus on what most of our user base is on. A lot of times when you launch a MVP, they're on the mobile. Okay. Yes, we can do one-on-one on Sunday. We could do a Zoom. Now, let's see. Does everyone have a mobile app background that they can use? You have a device frame. Good. Okay. So when I drew one, I click on frame and then I just drew it, tried to make it about the same size as what the mobile device looks like. I'm also looking at these markings and identifiers where we know we're at the top. See, you see that? That means I'm the same size as that one. Okay. So this is what we do for now. We'll come back to this. We're gonna go ahead, just use the frames. And also here, if you click, when you click on frame, you can go all the way to the right and it has the size of the phone that you're looking for. See how it says iPhone 17? You click on your frame and you have all of the different phones you can select. You could do tablet, you could do Android medium, Android compact. I'm going with iPhone 17 because that's the normal size I designed for it. Now, once you have your frame that you're going to work out of, I'm going to go ahead and just make 4 panels. We're only going to focus on 4 panels. Now, if you click on it, we click to the right, the plus button, and that duplicated that frame for me. And before I make any more frames, I'm going to rename them. I'm going to click where the words are, and then I'm going to double click, and I'm going to call this home. We're going to click on the next frame, and then I'm going to double click, and then I'm going to call this one about. Okay, there's another way to duplicate really fast. And what that is you click on it, you hold down the Alt key on your keyboard, ALT, and drag over. I'm going to do that again. If you notice, you'll see lines that are guiding lines that'll help you evenly distribute these. You click on your frame, you hold down the ALT key, you see that the arrows duplicate, then you click down and drag over. We're going to make 4 frames. We're going to have about, home, about, videos, and then contact. Okay. So right now, we're not focused on making really awesome designs. We're focusing on where everything goes, and we're focusing on what's important with this app that you're building. So let's say you have a home page, you want to draw people in and you want to give them that wow factor. Usually the way you do that is start up with video before you start up with the text or photo. So if I go to my shape tools, I click on the down arrow. It says image video. I click on that. And if you have a video available, you can get it. If you don't have one available, then you go to Pexels. So let me do a fake video right now. I'm going to click on a photo and I'm going to put a rectangle on top of it and fake it. So if I go to our folder, let's click on one of these cars. And I clicked it outside of there because I didn't want it to take up the whole area, right? I wanted to just take up a top portion. And there's actually an easier way to do this too. There's another way I like to do this. I'm going to show you the other way I like to do this as well. So the thing is, right now we're just creating the design that we want. I see Aretha's question. Once we make the design, it actually interprets the code based off of a finished mock-up. Right now, we're getting used to building with Figma. And once we build with it, then we can eventually learn how to make a finished, polished one. And that'll communicate your design. When we're uploading our mockup, we want to tell it the stack that we want to use. That's something we're going to learn in the future class. The stack is the different coding languages you want the AI to use to build. If it's hybrid, it's going to be both platforms. So getting back to Figma, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to not click on the rectangle. I'm going to just shape it out. I'm gonna click on not the photo. I'm gonna click bring a rectangle in here. Okay. And I like doing this better because I make a rectangle exactly how I want it. Then I click on that rectangle. You see where it says fill? I will go to the fill, go to my Figma folder, select the vehicle I want to use, the picture, and I drag it to that fill. So now this photo is exactly where I want it to go. Then from here, click on text. I'm going to type homepage or home. Then from there, I'm going to put in a few more images. But I'm going to start by just bringing in rectangles and about the space that I want them to go. So one thing I like to do, I really like my images to bleed from edge to edge. To me, that gives it like a richer look for the mobile app. Once you bring in anything like a text or image, or actually the text or a rectangle, you can change the color. So see how I put the home here? Once you click the home, I go to fill again. Instead of dragging the image, I'm just changing the color. And I'm also going to add a stroke to it. Stroke is a plus button right here. Okay, I'm going to get these images up here and then I'm going to stop, see where everyone is. Okay, saying it won't allow you to select the file. Okay. Let me show you one more time and then let's troubleshoot if we can't get that to work. So right now I didn't go to the frame, but I went to the rectangle and I brought in rectangles into my scene. I'm gonna make it easier. I'm just gonna bring in like 3. So I'm gonna do 1. Okay. Remember, we hold down our Alt key. We can duplicate. 2. We hold down our Alt key. Duplicate. 3. Okay. So let's start changing these to actual images. So it's gonna look more like an app. So on the home page, I'm gonna put the cars in so people can like see like uh, a nice scrollable list of cars that are gonna be for sale. So let me bring in my folder of the cars we downloaded. All right. So click on the first one. We drag the next car. Click on the second one. Then I'm going to drag in the third car. I'm bringing it to the fill area. Then I'm going to click on the fourth one. I'm drag in the fourth car. Now, there's something that you're going to notice. You're going to notice that since it's the iPhone screen size, it's cutting off the image. So what you want to do, we want to actually make it a little longer so you can see what you're working on. So I make sure I click the name of the frame and then I go to the bottom and I drag it out until it's the exact same size as the image we were working on. So if I want to make the home size a little smaller, I could click on it, double click it, make sure it's selected. Then I go all the way to the right under my text properties. And I'm going to change the size to a little bit smaller. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so we have our home page. And I want to show you something that I do to fake that they're videos. Like instead of bringing an actual video in here, I want this to be just a representation of what the page looked like just by the design. I would take the polygon, I would bring that in, I would rotate it, make it smaller, right? And then on the colors, I will make it white. And there's one last step. Right next to the colors, we have our opacity. I can click and drag that down where it's somewhat see-through. And now it looks like video play symbol. So I'm gonna do that, 3 of these. So we're gonna have it where they'll be able to get a video preview of what they're trying to buy and why they should buy it. Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing, then we're going to stop, make sure everybody's on the same page. I'm going to click on home and we're going to preview this. So you see where it says present, we're going to see what it looks like in the app preview. Okay, so it looks like it's starting to get there. What do you two think? Go back to design. Okay, so right now, we're going to go ahead and do the about page, but we're going to right now just do home and about, and then we're going to stop and finish off the rest on our one-on-one session. Okay, I'm going to give you another minute, work on the play buttons. Okay, let's see how everyone's looking. They're ready to start on the About Us page. Okay, good, good. Okay, Ashley's done. Let's move on to About Us. So, with our About Us page, I want to keep it nice and visual, like we have on our home page. I'm going to go back here, click on another rectangle. Okay. And I thought about it. We kind of need something with a person in front of a car. So I'm going to go back to Pexels. This is our good open source website. I want to say person in front of car. or with car. Okay. We don't have a lot of options for that, but I'm gonna go with this one for now. Okay. So now that we have that new one, I'm gonna go back to Figma, and I'm gonna drag that image to our fill section of our selected rectangle. And I'm actually gonna show you a really cool design that has been used about the last few years on mobile app pages. So I'm gonna click on our fill image. He's gonna be our proprietor for this car auction business, right? And next, I'm gonna bring in one more rectangle, right? But this time, I'm gonna give it the round edges on the top. So when I do it like that, it's gonna do it all the way around. And since it's off the page, it's okay. I'll push him up a little bit. I double clicked him. I pushed him up. Okay. This time, I'm gonna go ahead and make this a nice color. Not necessarily a white color, but just a little like creamy color. Okay. And then we're gonna type text about us. So you don't see the text because it's in the back. So if I right click, bring to front, or I can right click here, send backwards. Right click here, send it back. I'm gonna right click here, send it back. There we go. So the other thing is you can look on the left with the layers. This is just like Photoshop. You can make sure layer wise everything is where it should be. I don't like the font. I want to use a fancier font. though these are car auctions, we're gonna go with something that sticks out. Okay, I like that. Yes, Adobe does have a similar program. It's called Adobe XD. And actually, to me, it is simpler, but XD used to be free. I used to train on XD, and now you have to have it as part of the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite. So you just can't sign up, get a free one. You have to have a Creative Cloud Suite to get access to it now. Okay. No, a lot of people use XD. Let me see. That's discontinued. That's news to me. I didn't know about that. Let's see. Adobe XD, because I still have it on my computer. Yeah, it's not discontinued because it's still being updated. I just checked. This XD is still out. Yeah, I still have it on my computer as well. So another thing I'm gonna do, and then we're gonna wrap up for today. Let's do a session Sunday. We get together, do a Zoom, and I'll be able to walk you through some of the rough edges areas. Um, I'm gonna go to Lorem Ipsum. You can just go online, do a Google search, and look for Lorem Ipsum and get some text. Yeah, you can definitely use XD. It's different. Like the way it works is different, but if you know Photoshop Illustrator, it'll take no time for you to pick it up. Okay, so I just want to grab some Lorem Ipsum text. There's a few sites out here that allow you to do that. There's a generator site right here. I really don't need to generate it, but I'm just going to grab some of what's already here. So actually, I need about this much. Let's generate it. Good. Okay, let's copy that. I'm going to go to our Figma. We'll click on the text tool. Then I'm going to paste it right here. Yeah, sometimes it feels like I have to click outside of it to get it on here. Right now, it's the kerning is off. I'm gonna make some adjustments to that. Okay, went a little overboard with the Lorem Ipsum, grabbed a lot of text. But the main thing is I wanted to get what we needed on here. Okay. So right now we have our home page, our About Us page, and let's preview what it looks like before we wrap this up. This is what the home page looks like. You can click page to page here until we add actual buttons. That's the About Us page. If you notice, like, face is getting cut off. That's what I like about these phone previews. You get to see. You can even change the type of phone. Also, see how the text is like kind of coming off images. I want to like tighten that up. So yeah, the preview really helps you zero in your design. Once you have this nice design, we can actually upload the whole file to AI and get it built. We just want to tell it the stack we want and use the correct terminology. You'll get the correct results. So that's it for the first day of class. You have any questions, you can ask me in the chat right now. And actually, we're going to do another session on Sunday so that we can get everybody one-on-one up to speed. So send me an email, jc@quaketext.com, if you need a specific time on Sunday. I'm going to call you, Ashley, and Aretha, and coordinate with you so we can all get on at the same time. Okay, that's it for the session today. We learned Python. We learned Figma, how to prototype our own mockup. And we have 2 pages, but we're going to get the rest done on Sunday. Okay. I enjoyed everyone. You have a good evening and keep coding just a little bit every day, even if it's only 10 minutes, or practice with your new tools like Figma. 10 minutes a day will get you across the finish line. Ten minutes a day will get you across the finish line.
I lost control. I lost control. I lost control.